welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome to my channel. And yes, this is the exact same outfit we wore last Blerdsday because it's the same damn day we're recording.
2 videos in 1 day, ladies and gentlemen.
So for our second, and that is our little brother James in the bathtub laughing at us. Our second horrible father figure in Deadbeat Dad for this is the third Hokage.
Hashirama Sarutobi.
Now before y'all try to jump us and shit, okay?
Oh yeah, I know a bunch of y'all in the comments gonna be like, well, the Hokage took care of everybody. No,
wait,
no, it didn't.
Before y'all try to jump us and try to come up with damn jutsu, screw you and your Sharingan, alright? Okay? Because the third Hokage is an asshole. And he's not just like an asshole to Naruto. That's the problem. I don't think nobody thinks about this,
right?
Okay? He is a terrible human being.
Like, every problem in Naruto could have been settled by the third.
Right.
Like, all of this could have been done.
So, let's start with this. One, he has 2 kids. And for some reason, some of you guys don't know he has children, which makes no sense because you guys know Konohamaru is his grandkid. How else would he have kids? How would he have a grandkid if he doesn't have kids? Konohamaru is not adopted because the third ain't that damn nice.
I mean, you see how the third, I mean, you'll see how the third treats orphans in a minute.
And then second, one of his kids is dead. Do we know about his wife? No. And then his other kid hates him. Oh, yeah. Asuma Sensei is his younger son. He hates the third.
And he hates his father. He hates his dad.
So much so, most of y'all bitches don't know Asuma is his kid. But
in their defense, though, they never refer to the only people that refer to the third by his name are Orochimaru, Danzo, Tsunade, and Jiraiya.
Okay, well, Danzo is his damn best friend and confidant and former teammate. So they grew up together, saying their names. Second of all, the other 3 are freaking Sanin and are his students.
So like everybody else refers to him as Lord Third, and I'm like,
this is how you know the third is bitch, okay? Because he's the only motherfucker that looked old the entire time. Look, if you're a good person, you don't age.
Right.
It's like when white people mind their own business. They don't look crappy.
Right. You know, stay out of other folk business.
So
you won't get them frown lines.
Right. He had frown lines. He had wrinkles. He had age spots. Like the man was falling apart for somebody that had that much power.
When he was training the signing, the nigga was balding.
Right.
He had a cul-de-sac.
Right. But yeah.
That ain't new.
Yeah. Danzo was evil, but he minded his own business and didn't look as old, even though they're the same age.
Yeah. Like.
And the other 2 elders didn't look as old as third either.
No, they didn't. Don't give me that. Don't give me that. Oh, he was a ninja in wartime, so it was Danzo.
And so were the other 2
elders.
But the elders definitely mind their own business because they didn't want to get involved with anything.
They didn't want to do shit.
Like, look, we're just old. That's why we're here.
We're your advisors, motherfucker.
And we only made it because we're the only 4 alive.
Like, look at it. Like, come. Alright, so.
But this is the thing. If you guys look at the flashbacks of Naruto's life, especially when he was a kid before he entered the academy, it seemed like the third had an issue with Naruto. I feel like he blamed Naruto for his wife dying, but the only person at fault is the third because he's the one who told his wife to guard and be the midwife for
Kushina.
There we go. So, and he's the one who thought, okay, we could have put a couple ambu outside, and then we had a husband in there because he the 4th.
He didn't get the flash.
And even though he had to be really far away because technically it's inappropriate for a man to be there. And then we have my wife there because she a strong ass bitch. And then we have one more Ambu somewhere in that room, again, really far away, because it's inappropriate for his ass to be there. And that should be great, even though, hey, I know for a fact that the Uchiha's been plotting. I had information on it.
Even ordered one of them to kill everybody. We gonna talk about that too. Hold up. Yeah, we gonna talk about that. But
so it was his fault. His wife died.
His wife died.
It was his fault. There was more Ambu that could have been used.
Like hell, shit. You could have sent all female Ambu.
Right. Also,
hey, yo,
the majority of the next generations ninja that were alive at the time, and working ninja, by the way, were all strong enough that they could have guarded outside while you put Ambu inside.
I mean, you would think with not only the wife of the Hokage and she's a Jinchuriki, right, you would take all the precautions, knowing
it's not like this was the first time this ever happened in the village, because what was it, the first or the second wife was a Jinchuriki?
The first.
It was the first wife was a Jinchuriki. She had kids.
So y'all have protocol.
We knew this. We knew how to do this. Like, we knew what should have been done. And that was a worse time than the time when Naruto was born, because y'all had just finished. Like, villages had just formed. Like, nobody had villages before then. So everybody wanted a one-up on everybody.
Everybody wanted a tail beast. Or two.
So, you guys knew...
being a Senju, technically be the only people that can control the tail beast.
So, you guys knew what was going to happen. So, you didn't prepare well. Also, you didn't take the information that you got, the intel you got, seriously.
Somebody's gonna try to steal. To steal the 9 tails.
This was the one time. This was the one time we should have listened to Danzo, because Danzo
is the one who said it.
Exactly. And you're like, no, it's okay. It's okay. Fuck that. And then
hell, I would have done it just because Danzo had died. You know what? If Danzo thinks it's a possibility, it's definitely gonna
happen. Right, especially since you're the one who chose Danzo to be your confidant. You chose purposely to listen to him.
I mean, hell, if I was Danzo, I'd have been like, you know what? I don't like Minato. But he took my seat as the fourth.
Right.
But you know what? I like my village still having the most powerful tail beast in the land. So I'm gonna send my own route out and make sure
Also, you were just on guard during labor. So since you were just on guard because Minato couldn't be there, you, as the third Hokage, could have been one of the motherfuckers outside. Like, you could have been outside guarding. So guess what? So your wife wouldn't die, but yet when the boy was born, which, by the way, even though they do flashbacks, nobody tells who the hell raised Naruto until he was 4.
Right.
And lived on his own.
Right.
Nobody says this.
Who took care of Naruto?
But then you have a toddler, pre-K age, living by himself. And all you do is visit once a month to give him his parents' severance pay? But you don't give him money management tools. You don't buy groceries for him. You know everybody in the village hates him. Wanna know why? Because your homie told the village and you didn't stop it.
Right. Hell, shit. Naruto should have been cherished like a national treasure.
Because guess what?
Because he's the new Jinchuriki.
But also, too, just like every other freaking Hokage's kid, they're a prince or princess. So they get treated well. You didn't give Naruto not one freaking privilege he was supposed to have. Not one.
Like,
you didn't, and also you didn't tell the villagers, like, hey, he's in Jinchuriki and he has no training and nobody to teach him how to control his emotions. So it's probably, by the way, and nobody that can seal the damn beast back into him is in the village currently. I can't do it.
Too old. He can't do it. He's too old.
One of my students that can do it hates me and wants to kill me and the village. The other one is a drunkard and a gambler and in debt. And it's probably not best we ask her to come here because she's in debt. And the other one is a lech. Oh, but he has the freaking seal, but I don't know where he's at.
I have no clue either.
Let's not enrage the baby
that nobody knows how to deal with.
So the monster won't come out. Let's not do that. He had the power to make everybody maybe not be nice, but not be an asshole. He had the power to do that.
Like
and then
you let Naruto grow up hated and alone.
And probably malnourished. That's why his ass is short.
Like,
cause Minato was tall.
When I really think about everything, when I put myself in Naruto's shoes, if I had half the power Naruto has, and we're not even talking about the Jinchuriki chakra.
We're talking about Naruto's chakra.
As an Uzumaki. If I had half of his power and latent potential, I'd have done more than tag up the Hokage.
Also, this is another piece of crap, okay? Because it was the third's choice to not give Naruto his own daddy's name.
Oh yeah, they gave him the Uzumaki last name. Why we give a Jinchuriki?
The name of the people we know have to be Jinchuriki, so I mean, let's put a bigger target.
Right, let's definitely.
However, and then this is the other reason, right? So Naruto, if you look back at the flashbacks, always looked so happy when the third came because it was human contact. And the third wasn't nice, but he wasn't mean.
It wasn't somebody throwing shit at him.
He asked him questions about his own family, and the third is like, yeah, I'll tell you. But then when he actually asked, he's like, he leaves. He just left a child, a toddler.
With a hanging question.
Alone in a room with only ramen and spoiled milk. Like, that's not a great person.
Naruto surviving as long as he did.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's amazing, to be honest.
Absolutely amazing.
And then he kept the Uchiha boy. Yeah. And then he kept the Uchiha little village outside the village. Their little town, okay?
Yeah,
all he did was clean up the blood.
Like Sasuke still went back there every day.
He had Anbu watching that boy, I'm pretty sure. But you knew that boy went there. So you knew he festered hate. And you didn't help anything.
You didn't do shit.
He's a toddler as well, by the way. And then you didn't tell him anything. You let him hate his brother. Even if you didn't have to tell anybody, you should have told him. You should have told him
Sasuke.
But also,
imagine knowing that your brother did what he did, not only to save you, to save himself,
and then
but to save his entire village.
It's also
I'm sorry, like it was tragic that you ordered Itachi to kill his entire what's the word for that? There's a word.
Patricide.
When you kill everybody?
Oh, no, that was only his parents. I guess it would be fratricide because they're clan members.
Okay, so you ordered this. Itachi was what, 13?
Yeah, a teenager.
You ordered a 13-year-old.
Which then, by the way, he had to stay on the run for the rest of his life. So at 13,
to commit mass murder, and then you made him an enemy of the village.
And then this is the thing. Sasuke lived in an apartment in the village at that point. And that means Sasuke had nobody watching him either. So also, it's amazing he's alive because he was probably malnourished and had no money skills either. We just never saw it.
Well, also because he's an Uchiha, they're considered prodigies. People probably...
No, but they hated him too because he didn't have friends.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Remember, nobody would go near him. It's just they weren't as mean.
Yeah.
They just didn't talk to him.
Yeah.
So,
I forgot about.
So you didn't help him out either, by the way. But break. I gotta go to class. So where we left off on, and we took a break because I had class. No time management. No time management was where we left on was that people were not nice to Sasuke.
No.
And the third just left. He just left that child to his own devices, just like he did Naruto. Also, probably.
I mean, technically, he did the same to Kakashi.
That's true,
Kakashi's mom was dead, and his dad committed suicide.
I mean, but Kakashi was at least, he was already in school though. Like, and he was self-sufficient as well already because he had to cook for his dad all those years. So Kakashi was a little better off.
True, but...
And he was in double digits. Sasuke and Naruto were babies.
I'm just saying, it goes
Also,
along with the whole...
real quick question. Wait.
Itachi.
But quick question. Just like we don't know who raised... Wait, never mind. That's not even... Never mind. I was thinking who raised Sasuke, his family raised Sasuke. Sasuke's family raised him.
Yeah, I was just saying, Sasuke didn't lose his family until he was actually in school.
He was already a toddler.
Yeah,
okay.
They was already in school.
He was like in kindergarten or something, right?
Yeah,
but
he was born like 2-3 months before Naruto.
As bad as it was for Kakashi, I don't count it as bad because he was at least a preteen and he was already self-sufficient. It's bad when you leave toddlers alone.
True. Although that does. Speaking of which, how come we don't see more orphans?
Also,
in the Leaf Village?
it's true because they probably don't allow orphans in the Leaf Village. You know what I mean? It's just like all the villages outside because it's not the Leaf, so they don't care. But like with orphans, I guess people probably take care of their kids. I don't know.
I mean, because it's just a thought that's been in my head. Naruto and Sasuke can't be the only
orphans in the Leaf Village?
Yeah.
I feel like they probably are though. I feel like people probably, like if their kids die or their siblings die, like they take the kid. Like that's probably it. But I feel like the Leaf Village just don't care about like people in general outside of the Leaf.
I mean, probably not. If you ain't directly tied to the Shinju or one of the other clans in the Leaf, if you were Uzumaki or an Uchiha, you're fucked.
That's true. But it's also but that's still that's it. That's true. But like for the Uchiha, that kind of sucks though because they're one of the two families that founded the village. So
yeah.
I mean, but that's a totally different. That's still a totally different conversation.
Yeah, that's.
But it's also like this is how you know how bad the third is. His own child hates him.
Yeah.
So Asuma hates the third. But then, like if we already said that in the first part, but if we go even further, where is Tonohamaru's mother? Because we never hear from her. So either
we don't even hear about her.
Either she's dead, which would be the best case scenario out of this, or the third was that much of a dick that he just took his son's wife kid. Like he just took the kid away from his daughter-in-law, which I wouldn't put that past
my son died in battle. I never liked you. I'm taking my grandson.
Like I wouldn't put it past the third. And then it's also like, so your teacher is like your parent figure. Did nobody realize that all three of his students dislike him?
Like hate him.
Orochimaru
wanted to kill him.
Hates him. Like
Jiraiya,
with a passion. Jiraiya like doesn't care for the man. And Tsunade, she's like in between Orochimaru and Jiraiya, closer towards the Orochimaru part of the scale.
Like, you gotta think about it. The three most powerful ninja ever to come out the village.
We're taught by the same person and hate the same person.
And left.
Right.
All for different reasons.
But they all
left.
came back for the same reason too. Naruto.
Yeah.
And you know what? Nobody come for me and say it was for Sasuke that Orochimaru came back. Because he did it. He wanted, even though it was a bonus, he got a Uchiha. He wanted the Nine-Tail.
I mean, everybody wants the Nine-Tail. I mean, what's the point of getting the Uchiha eyes knowing one, they have that little curse, that little drawback to where like if you use the Sharingan too much, you gotta go blind. What would be a better way to help me do that? Let's see. Any tail beast over 2 tails has a healing factor. Well, I'm not just gonna grab any old beast. I might as well grab the one from the village in front.
Right, that I know it's in this
it's in an idiot.
specifically, this specific person's body. And
no problem.
I also know he's an idiot, and I also know that nobody cares about him.
Like if he went missing, nobody. The only reason they would care is because the Ninetales.
And if the Ninetales came out and ransacked the village, they would just all blame it on the child.
Anyway, so I have an out.
But
for everything, I have a scapegoat.
But then it's also, this is how it goes to how bad of a father figure and how little parenting skills the third has, right? So the third is technically like the great grandfather of Naruto if we go by rules of teacher and student relationship, right? Master and disciple relationship. So
yeah, like
the third is the teacher of Jiraiya, which is the teacher of Minato. So that means he screwed over his disciple who hates him and left. Then that means he screwed over his grandson disciple or grand disciple, whatever you like to say, which ended up in him dying and his wife dying.
And then also, the fourth kind of didn't like the third either.
He didn't. He respected him.
He respected him because of his title.
Right, he didn't like him. And then third, he screwed over his great-grand disciple, which means he should have had more liking towards Naruto, because he saw Jiraiya grow up. He basically raised them from the time he finished academy. He saw Minato grow up. He knows that boy is Jiraiya's disciple. And also there's a small rumor that he's Tsunade's kid, which would mean he should like him even more.
It's super plausible if you look at, because the one thing is all of the fourth chakra natures are Dan and Tsunade's chakra nature.
But anyway, which means
it's hereditary.
Which would mean he's like a double grand disciple, right? And so then it's Naruto is Minato's kid. So he should have been nicer. She should have been nicer to Naruto.
There is no way in hell I'm letting. First of
I
all,
wouldn't
there's
let
no
my
in hell I'm letting the most
grandchild
powerful thing in my village out of my sight.
Even
with that magic ball he had.
But just based off of relationships alone,
I'm not
ties,
you
shouldn't leave your great grandchild.
My disciples,
the child
on his own.
Right.
And take him in.
Right.
I'm
because
teach him.
That's even more messed up. Because isn't Minato an orphan?
Yes, technically Minato.
So Jiraiya technically would have been the granddad. That's really messed up. That's
hella messed up.
That's super screwy. But then if we're doing that,
hell, Jiraiya named Naruto.
That's true. But then even if we go to the third, then we have to talk about Jiraiya. Because one, you found out your disciple's kid, or your disciple was dead, and his wife was dead, and his kid was an orphan. And you knew that's your grandkid, basically, by adoption. Of you basically being Minato's master. So you left the child alone until he was 16.
But you still did more for
or 13. It would be 13.
Yeah, 13.
It would be 13.
2 years after he graduated the academy. So 13.
So you left that child alone. Even you knew because you got the damn frog with the seal in it. And Minato sent the message with the frog.
As soon as the frog popped up, I'd have been like, oh shit, I gotta go.
I should go and help my grandkid who's an infant. And both his parents had no family, so there's nobody to take in this child. Because Kushina didn't have a family either. No, she didn't. She only had her mother when she first came to the village, and the mom died. So,
Damn.
no. Like, do you see how, like, fucked up that
The
is?
Leaf Village
Like,
is
so
fucked
for
up.
13 years, and I know you had to be getting information somehow, somewhere about Naruto. So for 13 years, you let this
tadpole, something.
you let this child suffer knowingly, and then you come back and be like, hey.
Hey, not even hey. Like the first thing you do was you summoned the toad and had the toad throw the boy.
That's true. Like, this is like worse than your dad went to get a pack of cigarettes and never came back, and then like 20 years later he fucked up.
Right, showed up
That's
talking
way
about,
worse.
hey Junior, how you doing?
This is way worse than that, I feel like, because like there was violence involved. And at least if
Like he caught you being a perv.
and at
first
least
of all.
and at least like in the instance where your dad asked, like, say he's gonna go get some cigarettes and come back later and never comes back, at least you're with your mom. like Jiraiya just left him, and then but if we go to Jiraiya, we gotta go to Kakashi.
Oh Jesus.
You live in the village. You're part of Anbu.
Hell.
You watch Naruto.
From afar, like a mother, like a
And
you knew who he was.
right, he lives in the exact same apartment as his parents did. So, bro, I'm sure you got a key. You don't need one, but I'm sure you have one.
He has
and
his
even
dad's hair and his mom's attitude.
And even if you were afraid he would know you were Anbu, bruh, Naruto ain't that smart. He wasn't that smart. If you would have just been like, I'm your uncle, and then had told him, oh, I can't tell you your parents' names because Third said I can't, Naruto would have been fine. At least, though, he would have had somebody.
Oh, shit. Speaking of which, the reason I think Naruto would have been way better off if somebody had, taken more of an
active role
in his growing up, instead of watching him from afar just in case the Nine Tails shows up and y'all gotta kill him. Like,
which that's not a very great scene, as the fact that the three people closest to him are literally relatives, because it was Jiraiya the third and then Kakashi.
Hell, Kakashi, he should be like your little brother.
Seriously. Well, Kakashi was almost a full-grown adult. He was like a teenager, so it would be like an uncle. Yeah, it'd be like an uncle.